You're listening to the Chronicles of Living podcast, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. Now let's talk.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop on the road of life. You can't stop. You can't stop moving. Keep move. Keep that pace. You switching to gear. Let's go as we climb up the hill. Don't slow down. Pedal a little more. The mind is working. It's in control. Your wheels are turning a little more. Going higher another notch. Keep it steady. Don't watch the clock go round.
Greetings, my visionary dreamers. Hey, did you know that I believe it takes commitment to yourself to be successful? That's my belief. This is Adionne. We're going to talk about it in a minute.
It's a cycle. We are learning, always turning. Later, cannot stop the time. Always merging into lanes that better suit us as we ride. Switch it up. Switching to gear, let's go. As we climb up the hill, don't slow down. Pedal a little more. The mind is working, it's in control. Your wheels are turning a little more. Going higher another notch. Keep it steady, don't watch the clock go round.
As I said, this is Adionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from your world, from yourself, from the world, from yourself, from some real bullshit. And you are listening to Chronicles of Living podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know us extraordinary folk doing the damn thing the best way we can. And yes, today we're going to talk about success. I mean, there's so many different versions of success to people. Everybody has a different belief as to what success is. And I'm sure that I've talked about this in another way in another show way back when. But because I am your dream pusher, you never know who's listening from time to time to what show. So this is why I work hard at making sure I talk about things in a different way, just in case you didn't catch on the first time, you know? Or it's just like reading a book, watching a movie, watching a show, and you believe you remember it all, but then when you go back and look at it again, it's like, oh wow, I didn't catch that the last time. And it's because you caught it the last time, but you are at a different level in growth. So this is what allows us to be able to watch a movie or listen to a show or, anything of that nature, the same thing, but get something different out of it 5 years later. It could be a book that you read. You could have read that book from beginning to end, and you could have read that book like 3 times straight 20 years ago, and then take the same book out now at this time in your life 20 years later and get something totally different out of that book. Why? Again, because we grow, and with growth comes different points of view that we have in our mindset, that we've been around different atmospheres and environments and people. We've had different conversations, and because of all of that, sometimes it can alter your way of thinking, So my thought on this, and definitely tune in, chat, you can always chat. Hit the chat button, sign in, and, I can see what you're saying, and I definitely will address it. But, yes, in my belief, it takes commitment to yourself to be successful. I'm not going to say in my belief, I'm going to say from my experience. Let's say it that way, because everybody has their own experiences with different situations, okay? Or different, let's say, word definitions. So my experience with success has been being committed to myself, okay? So when I'm talking about committing to yourself, I'm talking about things like I want to share the fact that one of the books is now published, and I believe it will be available. It might be available now because it was like a process, but I'm going to use this for a perfect example. My Visionary Dreamer 90-Day Journal. It is a 600 and something page book, but it's a journal. It's a 90-day journal. And this is something that I've been working on for almost a year, and I just published it. What was that? I think Thursday. I just published it. Finally, one of the books is out of the pen, y'all. But when I say commitment to yourself and the whole success factor, sometimes you can believe that you are going to you set your goals and, you believe that they're going to flow a certain way at a certain time. And I believe in setting goals. And because it just holds you accountable. And sometimes you might need to extend those goals because you might need to pull back on your commitment from other things. You might need to look at your life and ask yourself, what am I committed to that's benefiting me right now at this time in my life? Is it benefiting me to get further? Is it benefiting me to, progress as a person, as a career person, as an employee? That is when you commit to yourself. When you pull back and you be still from time to time and you say, you know what? Some things are not moving the way I expected. What is it? What am I doing? What is it that I'm giving my attention to? And if you've been following the show, my original goal was to release all 3 of the Visionary Dreamer, I call it Visionary Dreamer Life Series, the end of July. But we all know that life sometimes gets in the way. But I didn't stop. I didn't stop working on the books. I moved the date back. And then I changed it to coming soon. I changed it to coming soon to y'all, but I regrouped my plan for myself, And I decided okay, I did want to put all 3 books out at the same time because they are kind of like companion books, but you can use them individually and they're still going to help you in all different ways, but it's all meant to transform your life. And if you are working towards being an entrepreneur or just pursuing your dreams, your goals, it's going to address all of that. All 3 books will in their own way. So my goal was to, once I decided, okay, I'm not doing all 3, I was going to actually release the Visionary Dreamer 90-Day Journal last as the companion for the other 2 books. But for some reason, it wound up being first, which is great, And now I see, because sometimes people got to be prepared. And that is something that I do on a daily basis. I write in my journal. So I say all this to say that when you're committing to yourself, don't get frustrated with yourself if things are not going according to plan, because your plan might not be, I'm not going to say the best plan, but it might be better if you just let it flow the way it needs to flow. Let's say it that way. And that's what I decided to do. I took the pressure off of me. I put the pressure on me by telling y'all, it was going to be done by the end of July, which I really believe because they all were at editing stage. But sometimes you got to factor in the fact that, okay, you have your everyday life too. You have, you got to work, you got to make money. If you have kids, you got to, take care of the kids. Sometimes you might have, out of town guests, whatever it may be, or something might happen to your car or whatever. But when those things come into play, it's going to take priority sometimes over your dreams and your vision, because you have to, if something happened to your car, you got to take care of your car because you got to make money, right? So you have to be logical as to when you're looking at the commitments to yourself, and knowing like what is in the way of those commitments. It could be people. It could be people that's just stealing your time over nonsense, people that just, you get on the phone with them and all they want to do is gossip. That's stealing your time because it's not benefiting you. It's not benefiting your spirit. It's not benefiting your growth, your whole, the positive energy that you want to give off to people, or that you should want to give off, to others. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, if you're in the middle of working on a project, some type of goal, and you've set it, and every other day you got somebody calling your phone that is not doing nothing with their lives outside of, working, but after that, they come home and that's it, they don't want to do nothing else. But you are a person with dreams, visions, and goals. You want more out of life. Yeah, you can still, communicate with that person, but you have to commit to yourself. You have to be strong enough to commit to yourself and say, you know what? Yeah, this is like stealing my time. Especially if a person is talking to you for like an hour on the phone. That's something that you could have took that hour and worked on whatever it is that you have set a goal for. Worked on something on your to-do list. These are the things that you have to learn in order for you to see the success that you want to see in your life, It's like, let's say, even with to-do lists, this book, the journal, the 90-day journal, it has in there different things and different ways that you could write down and release all the things that's not beneficial to you. It has gratitude and affirmation spaces that you can create, and just different things that ways you can get your finances in order so that you can see your money. And when you're doing things like that, it makes it easier for you to commit to yourself. These are things that I do on a daily to help me to keep things together. As crazy as it might seem, to some people, because I do so much, I keep tons and tons of journals for so many different topics, and when I'm thinking on that certain topic, or if it's just a straight to do for the day or for the week, I have a journal for that. So what I did in this book, the reason why it's 600 or so pages, is because I combined all that stuff for you to be able to stay committed to yourself, see your actions on paper, write down your goals on paper in the book, and be able to look back from month to month for 90 days, 3 months. And by the time you get to the end of those 3 months, you can look back and see how much progress you have made, being committed to yourself. Sometimes we need this. Sometimes we need a tool that'll hold us accountable if we don't have a person around us that's encouraging or motivating to hold us accountable. We got to talk to ourselves. We got to, inspire ourselves and hold our feet to the fire, And a book might seem simple to you, but I guarantee you this, once you start writing in it and you look back from just starting from day to day and seeing how, I got that done. And you cross that off. And, oh, I stayed within my budget this month. And you can look back, and then the next month you get better and better and better. That's what the Visionary Dreamer 90-Day Journal is all about. And y'all can go order it right now on Amazon.com. That's right, shameless shout out. But that's what the show is about, right? So that's my goal. I am committed to me creating things and tools that can help me better myself as well as help you to become a better individual. You know, as I always say, this show is not just for me, it's for you too. You know, I mean, it's not for just for you, it's for me too. So when I'm creating these different books, I'm thinking about the things that I use on a daily and the things that I would like to do more of on a daily to keep myself intact, to keep things grounded, because we live life from day to day, sometimes forgetting what we did yesterday. If we don't have it written down, it's like, wow, if somebody say, so where, if something happened and a cop came to you right now and said, where were you at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, the 1st of July 2018? You would be dumbfounded. Like, what? I don't know. You know, it can be just last week. They would be like, what were you doing last Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Ordinarily, you're probably going to say I was working. But what, if they get down to the detail, like, what were you doing at work? You know? Now, I'm not saying get that crazy with it, but I'm just using that as an example. A lot of times we just skate through life not realizing what we need to do, what we need more of for our lives, what we need more of to accomplish what we are going after in life. You know, what are the things that we keep repeating that's not benefiting us? If you start writing in a journal, you can start seeing your patterns. And then you can start breaking those patterns down, you know, as you go. And what I've learned is, just like I was talking about the whole putting the pressure on yourself, when you're committed to yourself, you have to learn how to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Now, that might sound crazy, but if you take and you write a to-do list, which is in a Visionary Dreamer Journal, the 90-Day Journal, it has goals and tasks and all of that stuff in there for your mind, body, and soul. But if you take and at the top of the week, top of the month, and from day to day, you are writing down your to-do list, from household to work to kids to goals to dreams, everything that you know you need to accomplish. You can put them in order as you're writing them down. But as you go from day to day, it is okay to start from the last one if that's what you feel like doing at that time. That's what I mean. Sometimes we can commit to ourselves in a way of being strict with ourselves. And that's not fun, you know? You can hold your feet to the fire, but what I'm saying is, perfect example. Okay, I wrote my to-do list out. I had planned on, I was working on some things as far as the books earlier. And then I was working a little bit on one of the websites. And then I'm like, I really need to do some studying on this new technology that I want to learn, right? And if y'all been following the show, y'all know that I'm self-taught in so many different things. I will just figure it out, learn where I need to read about it, watch a tutorial, whatever. So I had this set goal to, you know, read up on this technology today. And after I finished working on the websites, I was like, you know, I really don't feel like I got information overload right now. I don't feel like that. I'm going to watch a movie. So I went and got a little red box movie for me and my son. And we cooked us some burgers and we sat there and watched the movie before the podcast show. And it's okay. I used to be so strict on myself about not falling off of my to-do list, Now, I'm going to still do what it is that I plan to do. It's just going to be after the podcast show. And now my mind is more relaxed. I'm off of information overload. I'm just talking to y'all. I'm relaxed. I just watched a movie. Now my mind will be more receptive to learn the things that I need to learn. You hear what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying, that, sometimes you don't have to be so strict on yourself when it comes to committing to yourself, You just have to acknowledge the things that are keeping you from committing to yourself, And when I say, as far as people are concerned, start being real with yourself. Are you committing to people more than you are committing to yourself? We do this a lot. And I've talked about this on other shows, how we can get caught up in committing to so many other people more than we will ourselves. But when you commit to yourself, you will end up with the thing, the goal, the vision, the dream that you have set eventually. It might not happen when you want it to happen, but it will happen if you don't give up on yourself. If you stay committed to yourself, no matter how it looks, no matter how many walls are falling down around you. Because trust me, I've had a crazy year. It took me almost a year to get these books where they are. But yet, I still worked on them. I didn't give up. It took me, all these things was happening to me, but I didn't give up on a podcast show. And now I'm at episode 109. I didn't give up, y'all. I might have had to take off a couple days, but I still recorded within that week. I might have took off a couple Sundays, but I'm still here, And guess what? Tomorrow, the 13th of August, is my 1 year anniversary for this show. 1 year. Can y'all believe that? So, I just want y'all to know that anything that you want to accomplish, you can do it. You really can. No matter what people say, no matter what other people believe, you have to first believe it in your heart. And you cannot let that go. Especially if it's something that's been pulling at you for years and years to do. But know that timing is everything too, because the other books that I'm working on, I realized I had to add more things to those books. And I believe this is why God put on my heart to bring out the 90-Day Journal first, because there was more information that I wanted to share with you guys in the other books, more resources. And it's good. It's good that I didn't publish them in July, but they're coming. As I said, coming soon. I'm doing this not to just say I did this, but just to show y'all this is what the show is about. For me, I need to do something to show you that stuff is possible. Your dreams and your visions and your goals, they are possible. If I'm sitting here telling you I'm your dream pusher, then I need to have something to show you guys that I've been working on too. And this is one of them, the book, along with the websites. I did my nonprofit. I put that all together, and I'm going out here and I'm starting to, go to the different communities to see which group of kids that I'm going to be able to teach to, and I kind of pulled back because I wanted to wait for the book so that I could have something to teach them from. So now that I have the first book, I can really go in like, yeah, this is what I want to do. So they can see the vision a little bit more clearer, you know? So this is what I'm talking about, y'all. If I can do these things, you can too. If I can say to myself, I want to write a book. I want to write not just a book, but I want to create a journal, a workbook, and a book with resources for people that are just need to know the basics about starting a business, and even people that's already in business that want to take their business to the next level, or not just business, but goals in life, you know, that you want to achieve. When I set out to do this, I knew like all the things that I did in the past, I've committed to in the past, but I had to let go of for some reason. I knew in my heart, okay, this is going to come back one day. This is not a waste. And this is what you have to know. When you commit to yourself and things don't work out as planned, don't write it off. It's just not time for that thing to come to pass. And when it's time for that thing to come to pass, trust me, it will make sense as to why you had to wait, as to why you had to step away from it for a minute, you know? All the things that I can do today are things that I did in an individual way at some point in my past, and I pretty much kind of moved on from it. And now it's all coming together for this purpose and this time, space, reality, you know, for my visionary dreamers out there to benefit from. So I'm going to keep this short today because I have some special stuff coming up, y'all. I know I've been saying that for a while. I told y'all that the show was going to start making a little shift for the better. I told y'all that I was going to start interviewing some independent talent and artists and other people. And I have a really special guest that I'm going to be interviewing this Wednesday at 4:30. Now, I know that's an odd time, but this person is major busy. I'm not going to say the name because I want to surprise y'all. But please tune in if you can at 4:30. And if you miss it, y'all know it's pre-recorded. Y'all know it's going to be recorded so you can come back and listen to it. But this guest, you definitely want to tune into because I'm going to say it this way. He's a millionaire, okay? And he knows what it takes to become a millionaire. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. And I'm sure we all want to hear his secrets, okay? So I'm going to end the show right now. I just think that in order for us to be successful, we definitely need to commit to ourselves. If you don't know how to commit to yourself, start today. Start today. Don't allow people to, call you selfish just because you decided that you want to do something for you and you can't make whatever it is that they want you to do for them. If it's on your timeline for what it is that you have set in your goals, you need to let them know, listen, it's time for me. That's what I had to do. The reason why this podcast has went as long as it is going right now, I'm saying it all jacked up, but the reason why the podcast is still on right now, and the reason why I've been so consistent with the podcast show is because I had to learn to commit to myself. So this is why I'm talking about how important this is. It took me a long time to learn how to commit to me. Yes, in the past, I did commit to goals and dreams and all of that. But a lot of times, I let people get in the way. I let other people's things that they wanted from me just override the things I desired for myself. And I'm sure a lot of you out there have been in that position if you're not in that position right now. So I'm giving you permission to be selfish right now in a good way, because when it benefits you, it definitely will benefit your loved ones. I hope so. This is not a pass to go out here and do nothing crazy, y'all. This is a pass to learn how to figure out what it is that really matters to yourself and commit to you to bring it to light, to bring it to pass, to bring it to reality. So until Wednesday, I will talk to you guys then. And I might even come on tomorrow just to have a little small chat because it's the anniversary. 1 year, y'all. 1 year. I made it. That is a huge accomplishment for me. I'm trying to tell y'all. So I love you guys. I thank y'all so much for supporting, for always coming back and listening to the different shows. You can still comment even if you missed the show live. You can always comment, like, subscribe, share the show on your social media. I would really appreciate it. It is now on Spotify. If you didn't catch that, Spotify has now picked up Chronicles-of-Livin-podcast show along with so many other platforms. And I'm so grateful to God, to the universe for, hearing me. And I'm just grateful. So I'm going to leave you guys. And again, I just thank y'all so much for your support. I love you guys. Peace. Thank you for listening to Chronicles of Living, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. And if you are pursuing your dreams, I'm proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live. To keep up with us, please visit chronicles-of-livin-podcast. Until next time, this is Adionne, your dream pusher. I love you guys.